Japan, U.S., South Korean Coast Guards hold first joint drill. Japan is determined to keep hunting whales. Deadly tornadoes tear through South Africa. EV sales boom in Nepal. King Charles III banknotes enter circulation for the first time. Tokyo City Hall develops dating app to encourage marriage.
Hello, I'm James. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Tuesday, June 11th, and here are your top stories. Japanese, US, and South Korean Coast Guard vessels conducted their first three-way drill on Thursday off Japan's coast as countries strengthened their maritime ties in response to increased assertiveness by China in pressing its territorial claims. Skirmishes between Chinese and Philippine Coast Guard vessels have escalated in the South China Sea, triggering fears that the dispute could escalate into an armed conflict between China and the United States, a longtime ally of the Philippines. Thursday's joint drill followed an agreement by the three countries' leaders last August to enhance security cooperation to safeguard peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific.
Patrol vessels from each country and 2 helicopters joined search and rescue operations in waters off the northern coast of Maizuru in Kyoto Prefecture, based on a scenario of rescuing crew members from a South Korean ship that caught fire after colliding with another boat. Japan in recent years has significantly reinforced its defenses in southwestern Japan, including Okinawa and its outer islands that are considered strategically key in response to growing Chinese assertiveness and tensions around Taiwan. Coast Guards from Japan, the United States, and South Korea signed an agreement last month to work together to preserve maritime resources, counter illegal fishing, conduct search and rescue operations, and improve maritime law enforcement capabilities in the region.
Kyoto Senpaku has built and launched a brand new whaling $48 million mothership, the Kange Maru. Tokoro told reporters, "We are proud of catching whales and are very proud of this ship, which will allow us to begin offshore mothership-style whaling this year," as he escorted them around the 370-foot, 9,300-ton vessel that set sail last Saturday for an 8-month tour of the country's northern waters. The new ship replaces the Nishin Maru, the infamous whaling factory vessel dubbed by the activists as a floating slaughterhouse that was decommissioned in 2020 after more than 30 years of service, during which it frequently clashed with anti-whaling activists.
The company says the Kange Maru is bigger and faster than its predecessor, and is equipped with state-of-the-art drones able to travel a reported 100 kilometers to allow crews of smaller boats to quickly locate and kill whales. But some activists say the ship's high-powered features, including a cruising range of 13,000 kilometers and its ability to sail for up to 60 days, suggest that Japan could set its sights on whales far beyond its northern waters. Veteran anti-whaling activist Paul Watson told CNN, "Japan has never given up on its whaling ambitions. The only purpose of a vessel like that is to travel long distances to the Southern Ocean to hunt whales, and what the whalers are doing right now is really just a test run."
At least 11 people have died and more than 50 others are injured after tornadoes tore through parts of South Africa's coastal province of KwaZulu-Natal on Monday. The devastating storms caused major damage, particularly in the town of Tongaat in northern KwaZulu-Natal, where footages from ravaged neighborhoods showed debris of dozens of wrecked homes. The South African Weather Service confirmed that at least 2 tornadoes struck the province on Monday afternoon, causing significant damage.
A larger tornado developed later around Tongaat and moved east to the coast near Westbrook and Ballito, where it caused further destruction. The provincial government stated that temporary shelters have been provided for families displaced by the storms, and those injured are receiving treatment in hospitals. The Weather Service explained, "South Africanos experience tornadoes from time to time, especially when large and intense weather systems affect the country." KwaZulu-Natal has a history of extreme weather conditions that has caused multiple casualties. In 2022, more than 300 people were killed in the province after heavy rains caused severe flooding, damaging homes and roads in what provincial authorities described as one of the worst weather storms in South Africa's history.
Nepal's abundant hydroelectric power is helping Himalayan nation cut its oil imports and clean up its air thanks to a boom in sales of electric vehicles. Nearly all of electricity produced in Nepal is clean energy, most of it generated by river-fed hydroelectricity. According to customs data, thanks to that abundant source of power, the country is quickly expanding charging networks and imports of EVs have doubled each of the past 2 years. The Nepal Electricity Authority estimates the use of EVs have reduced the oil import cost by 22 million a year, and the savings are increasing.
Access to electricity in Nepal has soared in the past 3 decades as hydroelectric projects were completed. Now, all but 6% of the population can reach the country's fast-expanding grid. That is enabling the country to leapfrog its neighbors in adopting EVs. Nepal so far has the peak capacity to produce 2,600 megawatts of power, and that is increasing as new hydropower plants are completed. A very small amount of power is also generated by solar plants. Nepal has made boosting the use of EVs part of its national commitments to curbing climate-changing emissions, pledging to raise EVs to 25% of all auto sales by 2025 and 90% by 2030. To help drive more sales, the government is charging lower duties on imported EVs, ranging from 25% to 90%. The import duties on gas and diesel-fueled vehicles are 276% to 329%.
The Bank of England said in the statement that banknotes featuring a portrait of King Charles III entered circulation on Wednesday for the first time. Charles will be featured on the front of the £5, £10, £20, and £50 banknotes, visible through their notes' see-through security windows. Otherwise, the notes will remain unchanged in their design. As well as the monarchs, banknotes in the UK features historical figures including Winston Churchill, Jane Austen, J.M.W. Turner, and Alan Turing. Images of the notes depicting Charles were first released in December 2022 after Queen Elizabeth II passed away in September of the same year.
Notes featuring Queen Elizabeth II will remain legal tender and will be in circulation alongside those showing Charles. The two monarchs are the only ones to be depicted on banknotes, as this tradition only began in 1960. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey said, "This is a historic moment, as it's the first time we've changed the sovereign on our notes. People would, however, be able to exchange notes they already have for the new ones featuring Charles." The Bank of England said a series of auctions of low serial numbered notes will be held in the coming months, with proceeds going to charity. Coins showing a portrait of the British King have already entered into circulation. They show him facing the left, in line with a tradition that says the direction of the profile switches for each successive monarch.
Called Tokyo Futari Story, the City Hall's new initiative is an effort to create couples, futari, in a country where it is increasingly common to be hitori, or alone. While a site offering counsel and general information for potential lovebird is online, a dating app is also in development. Tokyo City Hall hopes to offer it later this year, accessible through phone or web. But details were still undecided. They declined to comment on Japanese media reports that said the app will require identity confirmation, such as a driver's license, tax record to prove income, and a signed form saying the user is ready to get married.
According to Health Ministry data on Wednesday, marriage is on the decline in Japan as the country's birth rate fell to an all-time low. Last year, there were 474,717 marriages, down from 504,930 in 2022, while births totaled 727,277, down from 770,759. The reports also said the app may ask for information about height, job, and education, but the official denied anything was decided. On the national level, the government has been trying to solve a serious labor shortage by promising cash payments for families with children and supporting child care facilities. It has also relaxed immigration policy over the years to encourage an influx of foreign workers. During the so-called baby boom era of the 1970s, Japan recorded more than 2 million births a year. Like many young adults around the world today, fewer Japanese are interested in old-style marriage or having children.
And that's all for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune in into Funday news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm James, your host. I'll see you next time.